You know what is happening down in South Florida right now? It is not just a cooling market. We are seeing something that has not happened in years. The region now holds 9.7 months of housing supply. That is the highest of all 50 major U.S. metros. Think about that for a second. It would take nearly a full year to sell all the homes on the market if nobody listed another property. Compare that to somewhere like Milwaukee with just 2.7 months of supply, which is still a seller's market. Florida has completely flipped. Here's the thing that should concern every single person who owns property in South Florida. The insurance situation is absolutely brutal. We are talking about homeowners whose premiums went from manageable to over $10,000 a year. Some people are seeing their insurance costs rise 33% or more over just 3 years. And Citizens Insurance, the state-backed insurer of last resort, hit 1.4 million policies in 2023. That was when they became the largest property insurer in the entire state. When private companies will not even take your money to insure your house, what does that tell you about the risk? Now, there has been some improvement lately. Citizens policies are down to about 570,000 as of late 2025 through their depopulation program. But here's the catch. Homeowners are being forced to accept private insurance if it is within 20% of their citizens' premium. So, you might be paying 19% more just to get coverage, and you do not have a choice. And it gets worse. Those beachfront condos that shot from $400,000 to $1 million in about 18 months during the pandemic saw everything change after Surfside collapsed in 2021, killing 98 people. New regulations now require milestone inspections for older buildings, and structural integrity, reserve studies, and homeowners association fees are going through the roof. Condo sales are down 20% in Hillsborough County, down 21% in Miami-Dade, and down 27% in the Panama City area. We are not talking about a temporary blip here. The experts say condos are going to take the longest to recover, especially the coastal properties. The special assessments are literally killing people. Condo associations need massive amounts of money for repairs and for reserves they never saved for. So what happens? They try to sell, except the market is flooded. In Naples alone, there are over 8,000 homes listed for sale right now. About 2,700 of those have had price cuts. In Fort Lauderdale, there are over 19,000 active listings, with hundreds slashing prices trying to attract buyers. Some markets like Punta Gorda are seeing condo prices fall over 11% year over year. Single-family homes there are down 7.3%. You know what is really telling though? The migration patterns have completely reversed. During the pandemic, everyone was flooding into Florida because there is no state income tax, sunshine all year, and people could work from anywhere. But that wave has stopped. Actually, it is going backwards. People are now leaving Florida for Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas. About 48% of mortgage applications from people moving out of Florida are going to these neighboring states. And here is where it gets really concerning. It is not just regular homeowners feeling the pressure. The new construction market is struggling too. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Hollywood are seeing massive apartment completions, and we are talking thousands of new units coming online just as demand cools. About 16,000 new units are hitting the market in 2025. All this new inventory is landing right when demand is drying up. But it is not just the condos and apartments. Let us talk about single-family homes for a minute. Remember when everyone was moving to Florida for the tax benefits? Well, they forgot to mention what happens when your insurance quadruples and your property taxes keep climbing to make up for everyone else who is leaving. People's monthly payments are literally doubling. Not from the mortgage, which stayed the same, but from insurance and taxes. And the insurance thing? It is about to get worse. Florida has what is called the hurricane deductible. It is usually 2 to 5% of your home's value. So that $1 million house you bought in Boca, you are on the hook for the first $20,000 to $50,000 in hurricane damage, every single storm of storms. And this is what really has experts worried. We have not had a direct hit from a major hurricane on Miami or Fort Lauderdale since Andrew in 1992. 3 decades of luck. The insurance companies are not betting on that luck continuing. That is why they are either pulling out entirely or jacking rates so high that people cannot afford to stay. Here is something that nobody really wants to talk about. The fundamentals that drove Florida's boom are unwinding. Interest rates are still above 7%. That work from anywhere revolution? Companies are calling people back to the office. The tech companies and crypto money that flooded into Miami during the pandemic are quietly heading for the exits. The data backs this up. Home sales in February 2025 were down 10.2% from a year earlier. We are seeing inventory pile up everywhere. Some cities like Palatka saw inventory jump 34% year over year. The Villages, Naples, Fort Lauderdale, they are all seeing massive increases in homes for sale. But here's the really important part. Most experts are not calling for a total crash like 2008. Nick Gurley from Reventure app thinks certain Florida markets could drop by 10% throughout 2025. Cities like Tampa, St. Petersburg, Sarasota, and Naples are most at risk. Miami might hold up better because of international money, but even there the cracks are showing. What makes this different from past downturns is the insurance factor. It is structural. It is not going to get fixed by lower interest rates or more buyers moving in. Climate risk is real, and it is being priced into the market right now. Some areas are already being labeled very high risk for price drops of up to 15%, including Gainesville, the Space Coast, and Lakeland and Winter Haven. You see those beautiful listings online, the ones with the pool and the palm trees? Start looking at the days on market in South Florida. That 9.7 months of supply means buyers have all the leverage now. Sellers are cutting prices, offering concessions, whatever it takes to move property. The commercial real estate situation is its own problem. Developers built like crazy during the boom, and now Miami alone is seeing over 5,300 new apartment units by the end of 2025. All that supply is hitting a market where demand is falling off a cliff. So, where does this leave us? If you own property in South Florida, you are facing a perfect storm. Insurance costs that might force you to sell, property values that are starting to crack, and a buyer pool that is shrinking by the day. The migration that fueled the boom has reversed. The insurance market is broken. The condo regulations post-Surfside have created massive financial burdens. The people who can afford to leave are already leaving, taking losses, and moving to more affordable states. It is the middle class, the retirees, the people who put everything into their Florida dream. They are the ones who might end up trapped. Here is the bottom line. This is not 2008. This is not just about bad loans or speculation. This is about fundamental changes to what it costs to own property in Florida. And the question is whether people can afford it anymore. When your insurance costs more than your mortgage payment, when your condo association hits you with a 5-figure assessment, when buyers have disappeared and inventory is piling up, that is not a market correction. That is a reckoning. Based on the data we are seeing right now, 9.7 months of supply, insurance companies swelling to 1.4 million policies at Citizens at its peak, and a 10 to 20% drop in condo sales across major counties, it has already started. The really dark part is this. Even if hurricane season stays quiet, even if interest rates drop, the insurance problem is not going away. The climate risk is not going away. And once market psychology shifts from everyone wanting to live in Florida to everyone trying to get out, that is incredibly hard to reverse. So yeah, if you are thinking about buying in South Florida, maybe wait. And if you are thinking about selling, you might not want to wait too long.